I think overall it was like maybe the top 1.5% of the organizations actually started doing something with AI, even though
Your
there was
mood
so much,
that's
you
here
know,
for
in
good,
terms of news in
bringing all
AI.
the moods.
So, welcome to AI Because podcast. And this is actually our New Year's, okay, even though it's not January 1st, our New Year's edition. And we're going to take a look back at 2024 and some of the stuff that stood out to us in the AI space, excuse me, in the AI space. And we're going to look forward, or at least what we're excited about in our little world for 2025. So, I'm excited about this one. And then we'll get back into next time, whatever our regular schedule is. But I'm excited about this because there's a lot, as you all have lived through, a lot that happened in 24 and a lot that's coming up in 25. So I would love to go around the room. And Manoj, I'll start with you. Um, Actually, what do you what when you look back at 24, what stands out for you?
So I think 24 from the various interactions we've had with customers and prospects about trying to raise awareness about AI. So that sort of is what sort of stood out from a 2024 perspective that the early leaders who are leaders in their respective space, who understand the value of technology and adopting technology fast, they have started, but there's still 98.5% of the organizations who are only hearing about it,
Hmm.
but they're not doing any hands-on. So I hope that 2025, it sort of starts cascading down to maybe 10, 15% of the organizations, because it'll probably take 5 or 7 years, for it to become widely adopted. But that sort of, yeah, is what stands out from all the
Yeah.
interactions we had with various customers.
It's interesting you say that, and I think about clients that I'm in the room with and coaching, and these are senior level leaders in organizations that you're absolutely right. They're kind of it's kind of one of those things of, yeah, I need to learn more about that, or I need to do XYZ about that. And these are global organizations
Mm,
that I think what happens is stuff may happen at when you're a larger organization, because I think those are the ones that have intentionally dipped their toes in the water for the most part,
yeah.
is you've got functions or departments that maybe had the responsibility of X, right? I'm going to stay connected on whatever, even if we didn't name it as a CIO or, whatever that may be, a chief AI officer. And so the individual leaders didn't embrace it into what they do in their day-to-day routines or functions. And so I think I agree with you that we'll start to see that more and more. Yeah, in 25. Yeah. Thank you. Steve, what's on your mind from 2020?
Well, what I'm seeing for 2024, it changed basically. AI changed how I personally do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From my job to um, helping other people who have business problems to even picking out a rheumatologist for this condition I have. I mean,
Yeah.
it is affected everything, and so I think the main lesson that I've learned is that AI elevates great thinking, and the quality of our thinking is defined by the quality of our questions.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can do with AI by asking it good questions and having some determination to arrive at a good answer that is actionable, I feel like it's a new superpower, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's like I joke around that chat's my buddy. Um,
Mhm.
but that is the truth. I mean, it's like that's my go-to at the first thing. And so I've watched though people that I coach that they're used to it. I've had one leader, she's like, Michelle, you'll be really proud of me because I'm going to be doing XYZ and researching this stuff. And so I have to agree is that it's my thought partner, and I'm encouraging leaders use it as that. Use it as a thought partner. You don't need to be going this alone because as leaders, we don't have all the answers. And so to your point, we can ask good questions and better
Mhm.
questions. And I encourage people, it's have a conversation.
Mhm.
Don't do a first pass. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Greg, how about you? What stood out for you in
The
2024? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. We do want to hear you and not just watch your lips move.
How's that? There you go.
There's Greg.
See, I said good morning 3 times. I don't know why nobody
Well, there
responded.
you go. We weren't just, Greg's getting pissed because we're ignoring him. What is with these people?
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, here we go. I would follow Steve on the mindset that I use chat consistently for interacting. If it's comparing products that I'm looking at or interested in, I use that. It's my essential go-to on any purchase I'm considering. I also uh, look at the idea that in my own life and in my own business, I use chat to have a conversation and break things down into smaller pieces. It helps me make my next steps, and I'm more confident in what my next steps are going to be, and I can continue that conversation as I move forward with my business.
Yeah.
What I see outside of me is content creation. I see people using AI all the time for content creation, and along with that is the image generation. And so it is amazing the quality improvements that we've seen in some of these image and video generators. And it's also amazing that you really have to pay attention to the individuals on the screen. Are they real? Or are they AI generated? So there's been some tremendous improvements in those two areas for sure.
Yeah, I'm in awe of what people have been able to do. But granted, it's an open platform, and I think people are piggybacking off of what others do. And I think that's the thing that happens when you open it up with open source, and it's like the sky's the limit.
yeah,
Just like you do when we have groups come together and teams come together to where someone has an idea and then someone else can build on that idea and then someone else takes it to the next level. That's what we're seeing in this space, which is why that Steve, when you were talking about the 12 days of open AI and the exponential growth that they had in such a short period of time. It's interesting stuff. I listened to the All In podcast, as I'm sure you guys did, for their look back and their projections for 25. And it was similar stuff around that space of just the leaps and bounds of the advancements that are taking place. And so it's an exciting time. For me and my business, what I look back on me personally is Opus Clip, and the ease of being able to create shorts off my podcast content from Leadership Soundbites.
Mhm.
It's before it was me paying people, and I was talking to somebody else about this, off of Fiverr, and I'd pay $5 to $7 a short, and but then I get these shorts back and I'm like, why would you pick that section of the podcast to do a short or a reel on? And so now I've got more control. I'm learning the nuances of it and how to crop. And so I actually want to show everybody next time just my lessons of what I'm doing on that one. But Opus Clip is one. Chat for because I've created custom GPTs to be able to create the descriptions for posts. So, my brand voice is there, all the information about, better possibilities and leadership sound bites and what it is. And so, I mean, the amount of time that I've saved is mind-boggling. And to your point, I'll do proposals and service agreements, consulting agreements with clients. Chat is my go-to with crafting all that stuff, and then I can just take it and tweak some of the content there. And so that to me was hours before because it was something that just 100% drained me.
Mm.
So those are just some little things, and I think part of it too, and I think someone may have said it, I have more confidence. Greg, I think you did. I have more confidence in what I'm putting forward because I've been able to soundboard with AI, and move it along. And so it's very freeing, is what it is. It's very
Yeah.
freeing to
And
be able
that
to do
reminds
that.
me, something the NVIDIA CEO said at one of the conference when somebody asked him his view on AI replacing humans. And his view was in the short term, yeah, that is not very likely, but what he said was that AI can do 50% of whatever you do much better than you. So
Hmm.
if you use AI to do that 50%, it just frees up so much more time for you to be able to do much more high quality stuff, much more valuable stuff. That is where the productivity enhancements we're going to see over the
Hmm.
coming months. And we've
Yeah.
experienced it at individual level, but that's what we hope, that more people are able to experience that 50% of whatever everybody is doing, AI can do much, much better. So
Yeah.
find those opportunities to see if AI can help you with that part.
Yeah.
And it
Right.
just then frees up time, and then you decide how you want to use your freed up time.
Well, and the thing
The
that I would add, Manoj, is it's the 50% of the stuff that you dread doing.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, it's like, oh
Right.
my
Yeah.
God, why would
So
you fight to
you're
keep
not doing
that?
good job anyway.
Yeah,
You're
at
you
the
not
don't
doing
same
want to
good
be
job
doing
time,
anyway.
it.
Yep.
You
at the
don't want to
same
be doing
time,
it.
yeah, there's things to use AI for, right? And
Yeah.
then there's things not to, because
Yes.
you can also tell people still want to deal with people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they want to see the human side of you, right? And so the art is to find those things that AI is most suitable for, right? And use it to its full extent, and
Mm.
then but also to know, what it's not as suited for,
Hmm.
things that
Yeah.
are directly related to, well, to humanity. Like it's
Hmm.
it's even good at writing poems that are good. It's good at doing songs. So there are definitely things. Yeah, so but there's still, people want to see a person. They want to know something about a human being too in that
Well,
process.
and I think to
And
your point, I think about songs, the example you gave, is that people like to hear the backstory about the song, where it came from, what it meant to
yeah,
you, all that stuff. So when a song is generated through AI, there's no backstory, right?
right.
And so I think that's the piece that, you're like, God, what were you going through when you wrote this and what were you feeling and stuff? Well, what is AI going to come back with? I wasn't feeling anything.
Right.
That's the stuff that you asked for. Here it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
But if on the other hand, right, so this is why we're talking about the melding of the two, right? If on the other hand, like I went off for a weekend, to the coast or something, and I was doing a lot of reading and meditating, and then if I spent a couple hours, writing on my personal journal, and then that I used AI to then help me create a song from that to accelerate the process from something that's deep within my soul to turning it into a song, that's
Hmm.
okay, right? So there's a good blending.
No, I agree. So
Yeah.
are you a songwriter, Steve, that I haven't heard about?
Who knows? I may become one. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Because that was pretty convincing to help me write something from deep within my soul.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
at the
Okay.
end of the day, AI is awesome, but AI does not have a soul, right?
No, I
And
I I
people,
agree.
right? And yeah,
Yeah.
and people do, and that's gonna always
Yeah.
be a human. Humans
Yeah.
will always be needed
So
in
we're shifting gears, guys. What are you looking forward to in 2025? Steve, we're going to start with you.
What am I looking forward to? AI is definitely going to get more intelligent. It's going to get more capable. And so at coding, I think right now, so at the end of the 12 days of OpenAI, OpenAI introduced the O3 model. The O3 model is better at coding, according to some standardized tests that they tested it with, than about all but 1% of programmers, right? It's pretty dramatic, right? And so that's going to result in, I think, a lot of changes. There still needs to be business logic that's sound. You can't. It's not going to. The best programming in the world won't be any good if the product market fit is not there, and if the business logic of the things that we tell it to do is not there. But by all means, I mean, it's a game changer in some of these areas. Medical research will be greatly accelerated. So there,
Mhm.
I anticipate a lot of dramatic leap forwards, and it may take
Yeah,
a
when
few more
you talk
years.
about pattern recognition with AI
Uh-huh.
and medical
Mhm.
research,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
a sweet spot. That's a
yeah,
sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
going to be able to surface those nuanced trends that are happening in the background and connections to stuff that we as humans aren't connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting. Yeah. Thank
Hmm.
you. Greg, what about you? What are you looking forward to in 25?
Well, I'm looking at things a little bit from the hardware side, and something that came out with Qualcomm and Snapdragon X Elite. These microprocessors are really, really going to change the game, in my opinion. If we can put AI into our mobile phones and our laptops and travel around, we don't even need internet or won't need
Mm-hmm.
internet to do all the things that we're doing today. We can really make ourselves mobile. So these microprocessors are compressing files and in kind of a quantization, I guess is the terminology that they use. It really speeds things up. We don't have cloud storage quite as much. So everything we do is going to be like 9 to 10 times faster. So AI is really going to be at our fingertips with some of these new processors.
So I wonder with that, because I know one of the big concerns is energy usage and just the
Yeah.
consumption of it to run this stuff. Um, is energy usage dealt with when you're at that microprocessor level? Or they take less?
Much less energy to
Okay.
run, and that's been the forefront of the media that with all the computing power we're using, we
Hmm.
don't have the electricity. These new processors are helping us deal with that. So it's
Okay.
putting AGI very, very close to our hands. Yes.
That's cool. I love it. Manoj.
Yeah, I've got a few. So, I mean, personally, I'm looking forward to more progress on text to video because I think we've only started on that way in terms of we writing prompt and then AI being able to generate very professional quality
Yeah.
videos. So we're still very early stages. So I'm hoping we see a lot of progress in 2024. And that'll be so much great for the small and medium businesses we want to work with because they'll be able to then tell their product stories, their brand stories, stories about their organizations a lot more better quality and a lot more cost effective
Hmm.
because the tools which are available right now, yeah, they're also very expensive. So I'm hoping that there'll be enough competition because
Hmm.
everybody wants to get better at that space. So that sort of is where one thing I'm hoping we get good quality, cost-effective tools. Second is I think we'll see progress on the enterprise side. So a lot of the AI right now is more at the individual level or smaller organizations with maybe one, two, three employees. But if you have 50 employees, 100 employees, 1,000, 50,000 employees, and a lot of your data is sitting inside your company, that other than Microsoft Copilot, there is not that many options where if you want to start using AI on your company data, you have to spend so much time integrating and implementing all the
Hmm.
security so that if an employee, in Singapore runs a query and there's some confidential data in London, we don't want that employee to see that confidential data in
Hmm.
the output, when they're asking AI any questions. But there are a lot of big providers like Salesforce, recently had that conference Agentforce. So at least organizations where you have all your data sitting in Salesforce, there is a start there, but not all the data will be in Salesforce. So we're
Hmm.
hoping there'll be more options available to start using AI inside the enterprise
Hmm.
where it respects the security of the different pieces of information, so people don't see information which they
Hmm.
should not be able to see. And then the last one is the agentic AI that we're going to see because everybody's saying this is the year where we're going to start creating more agents. So it'll be possible, that you have a team of 5 humans and 20 AI agents. So
Mhm.
that is what the team looks like at the end of the year for many organizations. And then there are various organizations like Salesforce, HubSpot, who are trying to make it business friendly to create these agents, because in 2024 you needed to be a technical programmer to be
Mhm.
able to create these agents, and not it was outside of reach of normal business people. But that sort of is where many organizations are putting a lot of effort to make it easy to create those agents. So we'll start to see these hybrid teams in more and more in 2025.
Yeah. It's interesting. Greg and I did some playing over the weekend with voice agents.
Hmm.
And, we wanted to be able to create the functionality that, the voice agent could real time respond to someone, calling and they speak Spanish. And so instead of right now you call systems and they go, press one if you're Spanish speaking, press two if you're, and it's like, the agent will automatically adjust. And to your point right now, it's not all in one space.
Mm.
It's not that you can just flip that thing and go, hi, multilingual, and respond to detect language. It doesn't exist in one package yet.
Yeah.
And so I am looking forward to and anticipating that as well, because we're not siloed anymore. I mean, you just look at us and how we are, with you in the UK, you were in India for a while, Greg's in Canada, we do business with people in Singapore and India. And so it's like we need that flexibility to at least meet people where they're at so they can, in their own language, describe what they're looking for. And then we can translate that instead of them having to figure out this. I speak Hindu, and what does in English mean that I can communicate and ask for what I want? So I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to that. The other part of it that you spoke to is around the text to video, and you're doing a lot of that stuff with Risk Spotlight, and so it's going to be cool to see that transition to where it's not so labor intensive, or it is easier, and to your point, more affordable. So that'll be cool stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be cool
And
stuff.
and something which came out in the All In podcast also was the robots, that AI enabled robots, humanoid robots, where they said that there is a robot from China now available for $16,000.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
there's actually a few. One of them was 1,500, I think, and
Yeah.
another one was
Yeah,
16 grand.
almost cheaper.
Depending,
Exactly.
yeah, so they could do, walking around and patrolling or different things. And so it's just right there. And we were talking about Elon Musk saying, it's the, 2026 or whatever it may be, or 2025. It's here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff
right.
is
It
pretty
is.
freaking cool. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
We may
pretty
we may
cool.
start seeing that in
I
bakeries and
saw
coffee shops.
we're gonna start seeing
Yeah.
we're gonna start seeing more unique devices. I actually saw yesterday this it was almost like I think we're all familiar, right, with the indoor vacuum cleaners, right, that can do a
Mm.
pretty small space. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen
The ro the
The robot.
iRobot, the roomy vacuums, that kind of Roomba.
yes, like
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I call mine Roomy, but yeah,
Okay,
he
okay,
has a name.
okay, okay. Well, now there is a lawnmower. Now there is this lawnmower that's like that, right?
Yeah.
You can set it to go. Like I would have loved to have had one of those growing up. We had a big yard, and I always fell to me to be out in the
Yeah.
heat of
That's how you
summer
got your
to
pocket
be out
money.
doing that. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I would
Just
have
set
gladly
him to
paid pocket
go and
money.
he's off and running. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Roomy finds dirt that I'm like, where
Oh,
did
so we're
you
going to
get
start seeing
this?
things. And then I was watching a demo of one of these robots. Um, and it's incredible the way it can move, go up hills and do all these things. Like it can, it's not, doesn't look human, but my gosh, it's so every bit of hardware on that device is used for some purpose, right? And
Hmm.
you can witness how it's being used when it does things like goes uphill or tries to pick up something. It's a sight to see. So
Yeah.
and I think the broader thing, right, is robots are one thing, but for so long we've been used to seeing the progress of AI and the digitization of a lot of stuff, but we really haven't seen a ton of the melding of the digital world and the atom world, right? I.e. digital and physical, right? And when you take robots and you take 3D printing, right? And these kind of technologies, I mean, I could very well see, that the company of the future would have maybe, let's say, I'm just throwing out numbers, 10 people, 200 agents, maybe 50 robots and some 3D printers, depending on what their business is, right? And it's things are changing and
Yeah,
they're
the 3D
changing.
printers. I remember back when I was doing my master's program, I ran across 3D printers that were printing organs. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, this is cool stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
that was
unbelievable.
back 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the advancements that we can do now that we're going to see are going to be really exciting. Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah.
Greg, I already hit you, right, for 2025.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, did I hit? I'm thinking, yeah, I did. Um, the stuff I'm looking forward to is interesting is to Manoj, you were talking about, organizations being able to basically keep within their own ecosystem, my language and not yours, and not have to go out and have different functionality. And I'm looking forward to that because Google is doing more. I think they were behind the eight ball for a while. They're stepping in and doing more. So I'm looking at that because I'm more of a Google person than a Microsoft person,
Hmm.
as far as, my share drive
Hmm.
and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that and closing the loop on that, where Notebook LM isn't just, hi, you've got to upload from Google Drive, but it can attach to your Google Drive, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm.
Google has, I think it's Gemini Deep Research.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
really
deep
looking
research.
forward to
Yeah.
playing with that some more, playing, but learning
Hmm.
more around that one. So I'm excited about that stuff. And then just I think earlier what you talked about, Manoj, is the 1-2% of the organizations that are using it, getting it to where it's more easily digestible or people can see themselves stepping in and using it. And because I think there's a fear among a lot of people. And so I'm looking forward to that where it can become, I'm going to use the term more mainstream. And so while we're rapidly advancing, that people can embrace it to where they don't get left behind. Because what's going to happen is when you've got organizations that can more easily produce X, whatever their product service may be, at a lower cost, and they're going up against people that haven't embraced the technology, that the price points are really good, and they price themselves out because they're no longer competitive. Because price does matter, price, quality, all the other stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, to where people can get more comfortable with it and start embracing it. But there's a lot of changes that are going to be going on in 25, and I am looking forward to that.
Well, and it's beyond cost too. It has to do with how nimble is an organization, right? Like all you have to do. I was playing around the last 2 days actually with deep research, and it is absolutely unbelievable. You can
Mm.
just feed it. You can feed it a query, and it will then the first thing it will do is it will propose a research plan, right? And then you can tweak the research plan, and then you send it off, and then what gets back you'll get back is about a 7 to probably to 15-page paper
Mm.
with citations and everything. It's
Yeah.
it's search. It is to the exponent next level search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it,
it's like an analyst, right? That is
it
what
is. It's like
analysts typically
we have
do.
our personal analyst, and I
Yeah.
think it'll take a little playing around with it to get to maximize the use of it, but it's unbelievable. It really
Well, and you
is.
talk
Yeah.
about, Greg, with the
Mhm.
comparisons
So
that you were talking about making, that you don't go anywhere without comparing and getting feedback. That's another level
Yeah.
of comparison and feedback. So yeah.
Well, with this type of technology, what other option do you have where you can actually save time and increase productivity? That hasn't worked in our, human labor force for quite some time, and so we really want to stress the advantages of looking into some of these things and getting educated. Yeah, make that first step. Make the
Yeah.
first.
And I had a great use case yesterday where I was buying something online, and I saw that you can apply like a coupon code. I don't have any coupon code, so I just went to Perplexity and I said, "Hey, can you go to the internet and see if there's any coupon code where I can get a discount on this?" It came back with 4 coupon code, and one of them worked, which was a 10%
Wow,
discount.
good
So
job.
I saved like about $120 on
I,
my purchase, which pays for the
I've
Perplexity
tried that. You know
cost.
what? Yes, absolutely. I've done this before, and I have to tell you that sometimes the codes haven't worked, but
Yeah.
absolutely, I've tried
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
But at
why
least
not
it saves so much
Florida?
time
Yes.
Yeah.
that if I had to
Yeah.
go and I
Oh,
would not
yeah,
go to the internet, but telling an
that's
AI,
right.
"Okay, go and find if there was any coupon code," and it
Yeah.
came back with one which worked, which was
Absolutely.
amazing.
Good job.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Happy New Year. I'm super looking forward to 2025. And until next time, we're going to go deeper and do a little, but I think it's been a really fun 2024, and I'm so looking forward to 25. And so I encourage all of you, please like, share, subscribe. This is AI Because. We're here to help. If you have topics that you want us talking about or doing some more research on or showing, please let us know.
Put questions. Yeah, put questions in the comments.
Yes. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We
Bye,
got the
everyone.
spark in the circuits now. As dummies listen, we'll show you how. A new wave rising, it's clear and loud. AI's the future, let's make you proud. Data and dreams combine in the air. From cloud to code, oh, we're everywhere. Innovation driving, we're breaking ground. With AI tools, let's turn it around. AI because we're powering your moves. Tech that's here for good, bringing all the moods.